Hey everyone, we've made our way from Toland to Next Island, and so I thought we would work on some codexes. And I see our shark codex is pretty low, and I kind of want to work on this VIP status thing. So I thought today we would do a little bit of a island shark, and at some point for this one we're gonna have to find the blueprint for those island shirts. But we still got a lot of sharks to kill, and then we'll have to figure out what materials we're gonna need for that. That'll be its own collection little mission. Ooh, let's take a skill pill. We're going to be taking down some stuff with some hit points. All right, let's get started. And so we're just out in the water here on the western edge here. And what you see, they got a fair amount of hit points. They hit pretty hard too, like 30-ish, I think. Which is why I'm wearing the good armor, because I don't want to have to worry about healing today. Instead, we're just going to try and crank out a bunch of little codex. I see we're getting a fair amount per kill. And work through, like I said, it's 1,000 sharks we have to kill. And so we'll just kill a little at a time, like I like to do on all these codexes. But again, these guys have a pretty fair amount of hit points. I should probably look up how much they have. And some of the drops are kind of valuable. I don't think that one is specifically. No, that one is not specifically. But these guys can drop that tiger eye, which is used to make the mankini. One of the people commented on the last time we were here, I think it was. But as you can see, they got a pretty decent grouping of stuff they drop. Again, I don't know how much of this we need for stuff. I didn't really look at what we were trying to craft here. And so I think we just stockpile everything. It's kind of been our plan. So we'll have to take some time and go through that at some point. Oh yeah, the youngest ones have 1,050, and we're doing the ones that are around 1,200. The providers specifically have 1,200, it says. So yeah, a fair amount of hit points. Basically the same as an Ambulamax young on Calypso in hit points. The damage is definitely very different. I don't think I've seen that at Garen Crystal before. Low markup though, so it's not that rare. Or useful. It could be rare and just not that useful. That'll also get you some low markup. Oh, and Alpha, this is gonna have even more hit points than that last guy. The good news is we're getting a ton of skill points here, including butchering. I saw. Yep, that was a pretty big skill up on that, honestly. Which is good because we always need to work that up a little bit higher. It goes extremely heavily into the animal looting. But yeah, this quest we're working on, this s.t.e.l VIP supposedly gives access to the Loyalist house, which has a whole bunch of missions out of it. Well, not a whole bunch, but a handful of really nice missions. Um, is what I've heard. Plus, it's nice to get access to the previously off-limit areas. Well, I guess it's only like 1-2% per kill, so it's not that impressive a codex jump. Which means when we get down into the past rank 5 or so, it's going to go real slow. That's probably because the other sharks are high level. I think those great whites are level 30-ish. High enough I don't want to mess with them. These are near the limit of where I would like to kind of stay. And these kind of have high hit points for what I like to hunt, honestly. I just kind of wanted to work on this mission, and the codex was really low. So I thought we had a chance of getting attribute views today. That's the plan anyway. I'm going to try and get a bunch of skills and kind of get ready for the next mayhem as well. Oh, that one punches through the armor and the plates. And we got those Imperium officer plates. So they do a pretty significant amount of damage. Oh, thank goodness for the good armor. Although it's starting to wear a little thin. And it's limited, so we'll have to go buy another piece or something. Oh, that was kind of a nice one. Oh, those have good markup. Both those have okay markup, I guess. Although not much sells. And it's pretty low density on the sharks out here, so you won't get swarmed. I mean, as you can see, we're just literally just picking one at a time, kind of knocking them down. There's a chance you get hit with a respawn like that that's close enough that it aggroes. So obviously you're going to want to be careful about that. Next Island is great. Outside of like they have some big mobs like this and even bigger that I don't want to touch, like those drakes and those Ascararius or I don't know how you pronounce it. But the flip side, it has a bunch of kind of low level stuff. So it kind of has both ranges. And it's extremely pretty as a planet. Probably the prettiest planet in the game. Especially if you have a good enough computer to run it on high graphics. Which I do not. I think I run this on like low or medium. I think it's low. And it's still very pretty here. And again, a bunch of low-level mobs like the Cyclopses, the Bullmen. I mean, there's some high-level Cyclopses too, but the initial ones are like level 2, I think. And it's gonna take us a while to get the through the 1,000 of these sharks. And so we'll just take out a chunk today and then kind of see where we're sitting. And the next time we're here on the planet, we'll take another run at them. Oh, that was kind of a nice one. And so, like I said, we'll also have to figure out, we'll have to find a blueprint for these island shirts. And I don't know if that's something we just have to spawn. Oh, cool. It looks like we just need hematite and that lesser elysium that we get from running that daily for the make textile skill. Well, and we have to find the blueprint. Oh, oh, an old alpha. Now we are getting swarmed a little bit. That other one got caught on the reef. So we're just gonna take a pass on him, I think. We'll see how that works out. This guy spawned literally on top of us. You see he's a little bit higher level than the other guys. But it's kind of a downer. I'd like him to stay on the lower end, because if we're literally have a kill count, it's not like it's a ped cycle count like with the Codex and whatnot. Anchises take a lot longer to kill, honestly. Oh, I see. There's a mission you have to do to get the island shirt blueprint. So we'll have to figure out what that is. Yeah, see, he's caught on the bottom of the ocean, which is kind of weird, but it gave us a bunch of free hits, but we have to swim to those or get high enough that the angle changes so they can free and come after us. Otherwise, they go untouchable. Oh, these are nice. These are a little bit lower level, from 22 down to a 13. That's definitely a nice step. So maybe we need to go a little more south. Maybe we're getting into the higher maturities of these. I'd definitely rather kill more, like I said, because we have a 1,000 countdown for that quest. And because it's nicer the faster we kill, honestly. You get to see those little loot events. You get to see all these skills rolling in. Although I guess the skills are kind of the same on a long fight versus a short fight. I mean, not the amount, but how fast they kind of come in. I wonder if we need that moldavite for something. I recall getting a bunch of it last time too. So we'll try to figure out what some of these materials are used for, and if it's worthwhile for us to utilize them in that fashion, or if we should just offload them and try to get another deed or use it for ammo or whatnot. We'll cross that bridge a little bit later. Right now, we're just gonna hoard it like a hoarder, everything into the storage container. Yeah, if you came out here with your pixie armor, you were definitely gonna want a big gun and to heal, have a healer or be switching back and forth to a heal, pretty reasonable heal chip. I think they were hitting for about 30, 40 on these lower level ones. Obviously, the higher ones will hit higher. And so, if you're going to start this, make sure you're prepared. Again, 1200 hit point monsters hit for 40, 30 to 70 damage probably. Hard enough that when we get up a few maturity levels that they cut through mayhem armor, which has pretty good protection as far as easy to obtain um, limited armor. No, I like it. I recommend it a little bit. If you can afford it and are hunting big stuff, it gives that reload bonus. So unless you're maxed out on your reload speed, it makes you attack faster, which is always nice because it's more DPS. Oh, I kind of like how the sun through the water looks. Yeah, again, pretty planet. No, I really like a lot of the stuff they did on Next Island. Oh, that was a nice critical. Like they have some of these chain missions, which are real nice. A bunch of dailies on skills that are maybe hard to work up or expensive, aka that make textile daily, where you just have to make 50 lesser lithiums, I think it is, which is good. We've been, well, let's switch targets. That we want this one first. We've been stockpiling them for when we get that island shirt. It takes them, and then so we just need to stockpile that and the hematite for sure. And then I'm still kind of looking at doing that crystalline core daily at some point, I think. And so we're going to stockpile those for resources as well. So that's kind of what I think what we're kind of going to shoot for this um, week or so that we're on next island. We'll try to do a little research and see if there's any other little chain quests that we need to get started. Oh, something broke on my gun. Probably the gun itself. All right. Let's get the next one lined out. There we go. Oh, and we just got a codex rank. Excellent. Let's see what we get here. Oh, that's a nice codex value. Yeah, let's take some decks. But we also get an attribute. Oh, stamina all day. Always stamina in my book. Yeah, I like that these, as we're moving south a little bit, these are definitely lower maturities. So our cost to kill 1,000 will definitely be a little lower overall. We'll get the same amount of codex, since the codex is kind of more ped cycle based. And so you kind of get what you put in on that one a little bit. Oh, that was kind of a nice one. Well, that stuff's pretty cheap, but I'm sure we'll need some of it for something. Or at the end, it'll be a big dump into the trade terminal and we'll see what we're buying with it. So I'm sure there's some stuff we could find. AKA probably another deed, because we're still trying to kind of work that up. Oh, nice. Oh, those do not have hardly any value. Oh, we got thyroid oil at some point. So these guys drop both muscle oil and thyroid oil. Probably just dependent on the maturity, is going to be my guess. And we're still getting about 1.5%, 1.4 there. So reasonable amount of codex per kill still. Oh, that was a real nice one. Almost 18 ped. I guess that's the good side. When you get a multiplier on a mob like this, it's high. I mean, that is high. It is very reflective because of how much each one costs to kill. It's also why the globals are so big. When they finally roll a good multiplier, um, they can hit pretty hard. Oh no, you're still taking losses on almost every hunt unless you're getting a good amount of markup material. They keep trying to entice me to go north with the mobs, I feel. That's why we're always having to flip around and kind of return to the south-southwest here. Oh, they spawned one on us. Well, he's swimming at us, but not attacking. Well, that's kind of nice. The other shark is blocking him. They obviously didn't get the memo that fish are friends, not food. Well, that's kind of a pretty thick grouping of sharks there. Again, with the trying to entice us to go kind of northish instead of to the south here, where there's a little bit less of a grouping. But hopefully they're lower level. I mean, even the low level ones have over 1,000 hit points. So if we get a good multiplier, it'll be pretty reasonable. But I'm pretty sure these guys only swirly on about 50 pad probably. I think that's pretty standard for some of the bigger mobs. Oh, that's still an alpha. That's a reasonable maturity range. No, I kind of think the first two are going to be the easy part of that uh, mission. Oh, looks like we drew a friend. I think finding the ores is going to be kind of the harder part because they have to be 3-ped deposits. Um, and so we're going to end up trying to use an amp and only go for minerals, the ores, because there's a higher concentration of next island ores over the energy matter. And we're hoping that'll help us work through that one. We'll kind of go over that a little bit when we do our mining run this week. Because we're going to throw that amp on there and try to hit some perpite, honestly. But some we're okay with a couple of the other ones that factor into that quest. The perpite's just nice for a texture. It looks really, really neat. And it has really good markup. And so those are all things you like about a material. Nice. We're about 10% through, although we're starting to get kind of tag teamed a little more often out here. Respawns are finding us. But even these younger ones are 1% a kill, which is pretty nice, honestly. You see, we're already 20% through that next Codex rank. Slowly but surely, we're working through that quest. Again, we probably won't get um, very far. Like about a half hour, we killed maybe 50. I don't remember where we started on that. But it's a pretty low amount um, per minute, so to speak. And that's due to the high hit points of the mob. And so that's just something you just have to kind of grind through. Oh, that's a nice one. 19 ped. Oh, and another friend. The good news is we're getting pretty good skills off of this. Even on the evader, um, getting jump like that kind of helps. Not something you want to happen all the time though. Yeah, now there's a reasonable density out here. So we were just in the wrong spot to begin with. We were a little too far north and a little too close to shore still. Is what I think was going on there. But you see, we got eye oil off that one. And so it's kind of weird that we can get a full range of oils a little bit. Like you can get the muscle oil off the low level ones, eye oil off the kind of mid level ish, and then we got thyroid oil off of some of them. I'm pretty sure. Again, maybe that came off that like level 22 ish one, but again, I don't really remember. I wasn't paying attention when we looted it, to be honest. Didn't notice that till after the fact. Ah, finally a young one. The youngs have the least hit points, like 1,050, I think it is. And it literally just goes up from there. 1,100, 1,200, 1,400. A lot. Oh, getting tag teamed again. Yeah, no, this is a great little area to codex the sharks, especially if you don't want to be fighting level really high ones. I don't know what they were, like 30, like I said, 30 something, I think. They hit pretty hard too, like 70, 80. Hard enough, I don't want no part of that. We'll stick to these low sharks, and not just because we need him for this little mission. Although that definitely helps our decision. These are definitely way easier for us to kill, and our DPS is probably a little low on those other ones. I bet those other ones have a lot of hit points. We could probably look that up in between kills because it takes so long for us to do the kill. Oh yeah, those guys start at 2,000. And it says the damage is 146, so I was taking the low end of that damage. And they're in that little PvP area. Yeah, no thank you. We will definitely be sticking to these nice low-level sharks. And I use the term low-level kind of relatively loosely, because they still hit pretty hard and they're not that low-level. If I need mayhem armor for it, I don't consider it low-level. I don't care if it says it's a level 3 mob. If I'm like, well, this is rough, we're putting on the mayhem armor. I'm gonna say this is at least a mid-level mob. I mean, I haven't come across a level 3 like that, but if I did, I would not consider it a low-level mob. Like, well, this level 3 hits for 70 damage. Not low-level. I don't care what the computer says. Oh, I'm glad we're just far enough away that guy didn't aggro. And he didn't get caught on him either. That's a double win. We haven't got any of that. I think it was the cat's eye agate that we got last time that is used in that Mankini. We haven't got a single drop today. I'm not really trying to make it, but it is kind of valuable. And so it would have been nice to score a few loot events of that today, but obviously it's pretty rare. And says I've only hunted these twice now, I think. I don't really have a good statistical odds to go on. Yeah, still 1% on the Codex, so that's pretty nice. Getting a bunch of muscle oil. I guess with us getting the muscle oil and the eye oil, we could do a simple one conductor run or something like that at some point. As long as I'm good about saving it. I don't know what else you would really use that stuff for here on Next Island. Oh, that's a nice one. 16 ped. So those mobs pretty far out to the west here. I think until we, I think the edge of where we can go is probably right about here. I bet that's that deep sea or deep space type stuff where they literally just block you from going. I haven't swam all the way out there to see where that zone is, like where it stops you. But yeah, definitely a slow grind quest. We're now at 12% of the sharks killed that we need to kill. That guy tried to sneak up on us. That wasn't very nice. Not nice at all, I say. What is nice is this guy will give us halfway through to the next Codex rank. Oh, nice. We got some Purpite Crystal up these guys. I didn't know they dropped those. So that's pretty rare, but that's definitely a win. And so that would be an argument for the bigger ones that you get a big enough loot roll that you get a breakdown of more items maybe. But pretty rare, I would say. I mean, we killed about 75 things or so. Got one loot event of that. Well, now they're throwing some different stuff at us though. We weren't getting that Zensite either. So yeah, now kind of torn on the only wanting to kill the younger ones. Now that we're getting a bunch of random weird stuff. I don't know what any of that stuff is. I mean, I knew what the perpite was, obviously, but that stuff has really good markup. So the bunch of the stuff here has not horrific markup, is what I'll say. Especially down off these guys, but they have a really big loot list. I mean, like we've got a wide variety of stuff here. A lot of it planet specific, um, which is kind of nice. I assume normal materials can sometimes be hard to sell on some of the other planets to the point where you have to warp them back to Calypso to get rid of them. Oop, getting tag teamed again. So yeah, definitely be aware that you're likely to. Oh, we got a little bit of a skill boost. That you're likely to. Oh, that's a nice one too. 82%. Get jumped, or have a respawn get dumped on you at some point. 82% skill boost on top of our 50% skill pill. Oh, there's a nice global. That's like 100 petter. 119 ped. That was a nice one. Well, I don't feel the skills are really rolling in and all that faster. It doesn't seem with that, even with that mega boost that we just got to score up for us. Maybe we're just in a little bit of a low part. Sorry, we're gonna burn it up anyway. Extra skills is extra skills, even if it's only a smidge. Oh, nice. All the sharks are kind of grouped together now. Oh, what's Adamite? I don't think I've seen that one. Not horrific markup. The components are still going well. Well, let's see what else we can get. I think we've got most of the common loot off them at this point, I would say. Lots of different extractors, a whole bunch of different materials that are next island specific. So, like I said, that's super nice because we're gonna need a bunch of it to craft some random stuff and work on some of the little quests and whatnot that they got going on. Oh, let's see, we got a little bit of a respawn behind us, but it's far enough. It's not gonna aggro on us, I don't think. Okay, I take back about the skill thing. Those skills are rolling in now. We were just at the eye of the storm, so to speak. Oh, that was a nice one. Oh, that was a real nice one. Raking in some skills and getting a handful of nice little mini loots here in a row. That's always a win-win. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to look up some of the other quests before we get rid of anything. Um, Next Island has a pretty good list of quests and missions you can do, especially considering the size of the planet. All right, I think this is where we're going to wrap up here today. I hope that everyone is having an amazing day. Stay epic.